that we can say we're always getting better and growing stronger every day, taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going, taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. There's a feeling of excitement, you can see it everywhere. The pride of our whole region is the heartbeat that we share. The heartbeat that we share. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. Mobile.
Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile, we're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're old, we're young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. We're old, we're young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And watch for an accident with injury and road blockage on Highway 293 on the Mid-Bay Bridge at Regatta Bay Boulevard. Also, we've got an accident on westbound Highway 90 west of Klondike Road. We also have an accident in Theodore Highway 90 at Bellinggrath Road. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by the Rogue Recap with Linda McLaughlin.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, RICH. That's RICH. Enter it now at NewsRadio710.com. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much. I appreciate very much you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. My guest in studio today to start the week is former Mobile Police Chief and candidate for Sheriff Paul Prine. Paul Prine, thank you for coming back to the Uncle Henry Show.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Glad to be able to talk to the listeners.
All right, we've got a lot to cover. We're what, are we almost a month away from voting?
Well, tomorrow will be 4 weeks from May the 19th.
Okay, so we're getting closer and closer. If you're unfamiliar with Paul Prine, we'll have you learned about him this hour on the Uncle Henry Show as he's running for Mobile County Sheriff. Before we jump into your campaign, I just have to ask you, you have such a long lifetime in law enforcement. Today is 420. This is a day that is now turned into a celebration of what is a federally illegal drug, still illegal federally all over the country, and now it is celebrated. Is this something you think about just 420 and drugs in general?
Well, I'll be honest with you. The only time that really I thought about drugs is when I was in the course of the everyday doing the job. If I worked in narcotics or the police chief and the crime and whether drugs was involved in it. To be frank with you, I didn't realize today was 420 in that regard.
Good for you. That's
good. Until about maybe 3 hours ago, someone hit me up with it.
Oh, they did?
Somebody reminded me, I guess.
Okay, well, is it so you've seen during your career attitudes changing about it? People getting far more lax about it. It's almost like the nation trying to medicate itself. As somebody with a lifetime in law enforcement, what are your thoughts on marijuana and the legalization of recreational marijuana?
Well, listen, I'll be frank with you. There's so much talk with CBD, hemp, and all the things that's going around surrounding marijuana. Marijuana in its current form, I do not like it. I do not like the stems. I don't like the weed. I don't like the plant. And then when you add in, it used to be what they called Mexican dirt weed, and now it's called this hydroponic. And number one, I just simply can't stand the smell of it. It gives me a headache, and I couldn't imagine having to go into a restaurant and sit down and try to enjoy a meal with your family, and then, people are coming in and they smell like weed, I'm not for it. I will just tell you, at the risk of losing maybe some voters, only from the standpoint that you said that the sentiment surrounding marijuana has changed over the years to where we are today. I am still adamantly opposed to it, especially in the recreational form. I do believe studies need to be had with Maryland and certainly Colorado, that have already legalized marijuana, and we need to analyze the data. We need to look at what the crime rates look like, what they don't look like. But I'll just tell you, I'm opposed to it, and I think it is a gateway drug to harder drugs, and that's very easy to learn if you talk to people that have battled with certainly drug addiction of any type.
Okay, now from a law enforcement standpoint, from all your years in law enforcement, if we were to eliminate drugs from any community, what would that do to crime?
Well, the last statistics I've seen, and it's been a few years, we were somewhere around 85% of all crimes committed were somehow related directly or indirectly with the use of drug activity.
85%?
85%.
Okay.
And that could be larceny cases. It could be violent crimes. It could be petty theft. If you look at what the root causes of sometimes what crime is, whether it's mental health issues, domestic issues, we have found ourselves in a society, and I think you alluded to a while ago today, we have found ourselves in a society where people are self-medicating, and if they can't get the drugs, then certainly they're going to turn to the black market to get it.
Well, they're even, there's news stories every few months of some new thing sold in convenience stores that people have never heard of that makes people sick.
Well, it does, and then a few years ago we had what I call the explosion of spice, which was a synthetic form of marijuana, if you will. Kind of gave you some of the same effects that marijuana gave you, but it was killing some of these kids. And I don't know that the answer is to legalize marijuana, but we've got to take a real approach to how do we prevent the influx of drugs, and that really kind of has to be started at the federal level, working with the local partners, because the local agencies simply just do not have the type of resources the federal government does to combat that at a big level, at a large level, at a grand scale.
Now, Paul Prine is the guest this hour. He is running for Mobile County Sheriff. How is the campaign going?
Well, listen, we're ramped up, we're moving, and I'm sure the other candidates and all candidates right now in the midterms would probably say that. We're entering into the last political window, the last 3 to 4 weeks of a campaign, and we're all out there reaching out to the voters, trying to get in front of people, and I think we're doing very well. We have a lot of momentum that's with us, even some of those that maybe can't come out and publicly say that they're doing it, because running against incumbents are hard, and people have constantly said, well, I don't want a target on my back. And I don't really quite understand that. I think with any political position, if someone says they don't want a target on their back, I would think that's probably all the reason why you need to engage the political process. But I think we're doing very well. We're going to continue to move on. We're meeting people. And I think my opponent would also say that we're all fighting for those votes somewhere in the middle.
Hey, do you still, are you meeting people that don't even know you? Do you actually find voters that don't know about you?
Well, I will tell you this. During the mayor's campaign, if you'll remember.
I do remember.
That was the case. When I was the chief, I thought people knew who I was, but they really didn't. The mayor's race really gave me a platform to kind of elevate myself, or at least name recognition amongst the community. And I have to tell you, we have been received very well with every community and every jurisdiction that we've went to so far in Mobile County. And I think that's a win. I think it's a plus. But I do think that a lot of that had to do with being involved in the mayor's race and people getting to know me. Every once in a while, I'll meet someone. They always seem to know the name, but don't know me personally. And we always seem to do very, very well after meeting with those people.
We've got a lot of questions for the hour. We're going to be coming up on a break here in a moment. For people that want to know more about you, where can they find out about you online?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So we're on Facebook primarily at Prine for Sheriff, and then we also have a podcast. It's at Prime Time Podcast on YouTube, and we also share every episode of the YouTube page on the Facebook page. So if you'll just go to the Facebook page, you'll be pleasantly surprised, and you'll be able to find all the information you want about us.
Okay, so Prime Time is the name of the podcast.
Well,
Prime
yes,
Time.
sir, on YouTube.
Okay. All right, so look for Prime Time Podcast on YouTube if you want to know more, and look for Paul Prine on Facebook. We're going to be taking a timeout and then come back with plenty more questions for Paul Prine about his run for Sheriff of Mobile County. Want to remind you that you can listen back to previous episodes of this show, including this episode. If you just tuned in and you want to hear the first few minutes of this show available as a podcast. You can find it on the iHeartRadio app. Look for Uncle Henry's Show on the iHeartRadio app, or go to newsradio710.com and look under podcasts. Back with more from Paul Prine as we continue.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And we're getting word of a crash with injury and road blockage in Santa Rosa Beach on Highway 98 at Highway 393. Also a crash with injury in Pensacola, North Davis Highway at Brent Lane. And we've got some ongoing construction in the left lane on I-10 eastbound between Wilcox Road and the Alabama-Florida line. I'm Lisa Baquet. Follow us on X, Total Traffic Gulf Coast.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Family meals are important, but some people get frustrated trying to figure out what to cook. Uncle Henry here to let you know. You can get inspiration and more at Greers.com. Lucy Greer has her signature recipes and her cooking videos available 24/7 at Greers.com. You'll find everything: appetizers, soups, salads, sweets, and plenty of meat dishes. Go find out for yourself at Greers.com.
And remember, Greer's got it. We guarantee it. At Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, our board-certified dermatologists are here to help you look and feel your best. From advanced laser treatments to medical-grade skincare products and today's most innovative procedures, we've got you covered. And right now, you can save on great products and procedures, including $40 off Juvo. Plus, save $150 off Cool Sculpting. Call Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center or schedule online at advanceddermclinic.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. 2%. That's the number of people who take the stairs over an escalator. I'm Michael Easter. Twice a week on my podcast 2%, I give you practical advice to live a more meaningful life.
Don't ask for easy. Don't demand easy. Put yourself through some hardships, and you will come out on the other side a happier, more fulfilled, healthier person.
Listen to 2% on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search 2%. That's TWO% to start listening.
Uncle Henry here with Thomas Irving of Pool and Spa Superstore, celebrating their grand reopening with big sales.
We have $50 off on our 100-pound shock and our 50-pound tablets. We have anywhere from $100 to $200 off on every in-stock pump, filter, and automatic pool cleaner. And we have a lot of buy one, get one free prices on our chemicals as well.
Drive west on Cottage Hill, take a right on Dawes Road, and you can't miss Pool and Spa Superstore.
Why pinch pennies when you can save dollars at Pool and Spa Superstore?
Voters are listening to the radio. Tons of them. If you're running for office, radio is where people are actually tuned in, not swiping past ads. Connect with communities everywhere and get on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app could win you something amazing.
The iHeart Awards in LA.
Plus, it's the fastest way to get your voice on your favorite station.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
I love you guys. Have a good day.
Try the talkback mic now. Just open the free iHeart Radio app.
From the Peden Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Weather Center.
Skies will be mostly clear tonight with cool temperatures. We'll have overnight lows around 50 degrees with light winds. Tomorrow we'll have plenty of sunshine on your Tuesday with daytime highs in the low to mid 80s. We'll have a light northeasterly breeze and low humidity in the afternoon. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith for this iHeart Radio station.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Is Donald Trump a religious man? This week on Red Pilled America, we delve into an often overlooked aspect of our president's upbringing that reveals a man deeply connected to his pastor. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeart Radio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Paul Prine is on the Uncle Henry Show. He is running for sheriff of Mobile County. Got a lot of stuff to ask, but for people that are undecided or for people that are unfamiliar, why would you want to do this? Why do you want to run for sheriff of Mobile County?
Well, listen, we asked that very question to law enforcement officers when they entered the police academy, and we still do it today. Why do you want to be a police officer? And often my testimony comes from growing up in a life of poverty. And I grew up in Pritchard, and where I grew up, when I was on the streets as a kid, much like some of these today, you either find yourself being a bully or you're a victim of a bully, and I always found myself in the middle helping people. That has not changed. The city retired me about 18 months early. That has not changed, and I still feel like at my age, at 55, I've got a lot of life left in me in law enforcement and to help people, and I intend to do that very thing.
Well, what would be different? How how would you be different?
So to be different as the sheriff is a lot different than any chief of police position. And I think the stark difference is the sheriff is elected by the people to essentially fight crime and protect them, to create that quality of life that we all want in our communities. The chiefs do the same thing essentially. There's some different nuances between the sheriff's department and the police department, but the chief is appointed by a mayor in the state of Alabama.
Right.
And the chief can only do what the mayor is either weak or strong enough to do. And I say that to say that chief can only be as tough on crime as if that leader will allow them to be tough on crime. And then when you start adding in the political indifference, the political ramblings and the fighting and the activism that goes in it, sometimes the mayors don't want the chief upsetting the balances too much because of the activism. And I think that's also disingenuous, because let me just tell you, I've said in the living rooms of virtually every culture, every people within Mobile, and we all want the same thing. But unfortunately, sometimes politicians listen to the activists rather than to the people, and it may be partly our fault too as voters, because we've got to get out and vote, and we've got to make sure, whether it's the mayor, the senator, the congressman, that we're electing people that's going to stand tall and represent their constituents in the way that they're supposed to do that.
So how would you be different from our current sheriff? Are there things that you would immediately change?
I think so. As I've gotten into the workings during this campaign of the sheriff's office, it is my job as a challenger to tell the voting public how I can do it better. And, I talked the last time on your show about the crime. What does the crime look like in Mobile County? Well, the sheriff can't tell you what the crime looks like because there's no annual report. But I also give him credit. There's never been an annual report. There's not a 10-year report. There's not a 5-year report that says how good, how bad is that crime in the county jurisdiction. It is essentially a report card of that leader that the people have elected to protect them. I'm also very big, Uncle Henry, on being fiscally responsible. As a conservative, that used to be one of the core tenets of the Conservative Party, the Republican Party. Be fiscally responsible with the people's money. And, of course, your listeners, if they're interested, can go to the Primetime Podcast and they can see for themselves the frivolous spending with overtime, And,
well, talk about it. So your podcast, Primetime Podcast, what do you mean frivolous spending?
Well, so there's a public website and it's called salaries.gov or salaries.gov.com. And they list essentially your W-2 wages because you're public employees. You don't have a right or an expectation to privacy in that regard. And I'm assuming this company, it's a private company, but they go across the nation. You can go to any community, including Mobile County. You can pull up, what are the highest salaries for Mobile County, for the city of Mobile, for the city of Pritchard. And it lists the salaries from the highest paid all the way down to the lowest paid. And what I found, and if it's correct, I think it is appalling to the voting public that care about their tax money. One, we won't call the deputy sergeant's name. He's a sergeant, probably makes $75,000 a year, and he essentially made $183,000 for last year, for the year of 2025, from January to December. And I kind of did a little rule of thumb or a math, but essentially that deputy would have had to work 7 hours a day of overtime, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, not considering that, the deputy probably has extra security jobs. That's how we all make money as in law enforcement, not considering time off for being sick or vacation time. And I think the sheriff's department had this problem back in 22 and 23 with another deputy, and it seems like we're back here today. I only looked at about 14 or 15 deputies and some civilian positions, and it's roughly $1 million, maybe a little over $1 million of money, and that's just with the deputies and the pay scales that I looked at of these people that I know for fact are hourly employees under the merit system. And overtime was never designed to supplement anybody's income, not in government work. And I think you may have said it, is the exception to the rule. And it is designed to backfill some of those vacancies where there could be a shortage in the field on patrol. It could be to pay a deputy for signing warrants, going to court when that deputy is off duty or on a scheduled off day. It was never designed to supplement a deputy's entire income. And I get it. Some of the deputies that I have mentioned this, they're not happy about it. But the leader's responsibility at the sheriff's department is to the people. It's not, we should take care of the deputies. We should ensure they've got the equipment, that they're being well compensated, and making sure they're getting their raises, incrementally over time. But this type of oversight, in my opinion, is appalling. I'm a taxpayer before I was ever anything, and much like you, we're all taxed to death, and there's no real representation, I think, when it comes to public leadership.
So you have looked at what you believe is excessive overtime. Are there any people in the sheriff's department that agree with you, that have talked to you about this?
There are probably, I would argue, 2/3 of the sheriff's department, at least on the enforcement side, are not getting that type of overtime. And it's not available. And what I think many of them are being told is the overtime's not there. They've been told the county commission's cut the overtime. The sheriff himself went on another radio program and said that the overtime was cut by the county commission. We will do this week another segment of that salaries for the government employees on the metro side to be able to see if there is a comparison between the jail and understand this. I understand that's getting in the weeds with money. But when the people give us money to fight crime, we should be able to give people something back that says, for your money, this is how effective we were. We bought 20 cars last year, for these deputies that had high mileage cars. We gave deputies 5% raise, or whatever the case may be, or we reduced crime, we reduced violent crime over the last 12 months with the money you gave. What are we doing with the money? And that's just as important, if not more important, than actually what the crime is.
You're listening to Paul Prine. He is running for sheriff. If you want to find more details on what he's talking about here, he has his own podcast, Prine Time. Look for it on YouTube, or look for Paul Prine on Facebook. We're going to take a time out for news headlines and then come back with more Uncle Henry Show. The guest this hour, former Mobile Police Chief Paul Prine, running for Mobile County Sheriff. Back after the news break with more Uncle Henry Show.
Saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com Traffic Center.
And we're getting word of a crash with injury and road blockage in Santa Rosa Beach on Highway 98 at Highway 393. Also a crash with injury in Pensacola, North Davis Highway at Brent Lane. And we've got some ongoing construction in the left lane on I-10 eastbound between Wilcox Road and the Alabama-Florida line. I'm Lisa Baquet. Follow us on X, Total Traffic Gulf Coast.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you've priced custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hi there, I'm Lenny Slagan from Fox 10 News. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office is investigating after 3 people were found dead in a triple homicide in Wilmer. The bodies were discovered on Albee Moody Road. The identities of the victims are listed on fox10tv.com. One of them was pregnant. As the story develops, we are learning the crime happened sometime overnight. The sheriff telling us the home had been gone through and was left in disarray. Quote, like someone was searching for something, end quote. In Louisiana, police say a father identified as Shamar Elkins shot 8 of his children. 7 of them died. His wife also shot and wounded. The horrific scene has left the community there stunned and looking for answers as to why this would happen. Investigators say Elkins was separating from his wife and used an assault-style weapon despite a 2019 felony firearms conviction. He died after running from police. The weekend incident in Shreveport is now one of the nation's deadliest mass shootings in recent years. Back in Mobile, quite the honor for some local students. Bishop State celebrating its inductees to the National Technical Honor Society. 571 students receiving the recognition, making Bishop State the largest chapter in the country. The awards giving out $335,000 in scholarships every year. I'm Monique Lagon from Fox 10 News and this iHeartRadio station. Log on to fox10tv.com for your latest news.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Democrats will continue pushing their war powers resolution to stop President Trump's Operation Epic Fury in Iran until Republicans give in.
Last week, Senate Republicans had their fourth opportunity to support our war powers resolution. And for the fourth time, Senate Republicans acquiesced to Donald Trump and gave this historic blunder their stamp of approval.
This war now in its 8th week. Top U.S. negotiators reportedly heading to Pakistan for more ceasefire talks with Iranian officials. Police in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with an update on a shooting that left 2 teenagers dead, 5 others with gunshot wounds, ranging from minor to critical, at a park near a middle school. Winston-Salem Police Captain Kevin Burns.
The investigation has revealed that this incident stemmed from a group of juveniles gathering at the park for a pre-planned fight.
No suspects are in custody. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, Uncle Henry here, and I've got 2 people with me who know how to help you make sense of your money. John McNeil and Virginia O'Brien from Mobile Bay Financial Solutions.
Thanks, Uncle Henry. With the economy continuing to shift, there's never been a more crucial time to take control of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement or just trying to protect what you've built, we're here to help you do it with confidence.
That's right. We're local, we're trusted, and we're ready to guide you through uncertain times. Call us today at 251-666-5000 for a free financial checkup. That's 251-666-5000. Let's make sure your money is working as hard as you are.
Mobile Bay Financial Solutions. Smart planning right here at home.
Advisory services offered through Mobile Bay Financial Services, LLC, an Alabama-registered investment advisor. We can offer investment advice in states where we are registered, exempt, or excluded from registration. The material contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice, securities, insurance, or other investment products.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You know the night that everyone ends up talking about after? This is it. Stakeout is back at St. Mary's, featuring 20 cooking teams serving up unlimited steak tastings, an open bar, live music from Disco Lemonade, and yes, the Bushwhackers are back. Cast your vote for the best team. Check out the live and silent auctions, and enjoy a full night of great food, drinks, and nonstop fun. Want to upgrade your night? VIP tickets include a private lounge, premium bar, catered food, and more. Stakeout, May 2nd. Get your tickets now at stmarystakeout.com. That's stmarystakeout.com.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. My guest this hour, Paul Prine. He is running for Mobile County Sheriff. He was the police chief in Mobile. And I've got to ask, I hope this isn't too touchy a subject, but the way you left the city was quite remarkable.
Yes.
The way the exit was quite remarkable.
Right.
And there is a lawsuit.
Right.
Now, can you explain where you are in that lawsuit process? Where is the lawsuit right now?
Yeah. So before I answer that, if I can just say this real quick. Essentially, and you will see this coming up real soon, especially if you go to the Facebook page, I was asked to commit a crime, and I refused to do it. and essentially I lost my job about 6 months later as a result of that. That is my opinion. That is my belief, and we'll be able to go to court and deal with all that as we may. A lot of people say, well, how are you going to be able to work with anybody if you have active litigation against the city? Well, number one, I'm not suing the city. I'm suing individuals. And some people may conflict that and say, well, what's the difference? Well, there is a difference, because the truth of the matter is public officials like police chiefs, mayors, chief of staff, fire chiefs, they have public bonds on them. And those public bonds are dictated by the insurance company that says if these public leaders do something that's harmful to the community intentionally or with wanton disregard for the rules or the law or whatever the case may be, those insurance companies can determine whether or not the city pays out or don't pay out.
Right.
Okay. And so as a part of where we at with the lawsuit, we've done a few depositions, and we've got some more to do, and they'll be coming over the coming months. And we were trying to add the city to the lawsuit to try to get an order from the court for the city to stop paying all these lawyers to fight this litigation for these people that did intentional tort, which is what we believe. You intentionally defamed and slandered a person's reputation, and so we're only wanting to add the city to it from the standpoint that the judge will review it, look at it, and say, okay, the city can continue to pay all these lawyers for all these people with the city, or they're not going to pay these lawyers and the lawyer bills, because I can assure you it's costing the taxpayer money, a lot of money to fight this litigation.
Now, the litigation, though, is you want your name cleared. Is that the purpose of the lawsuit, is to have admissions that you didn't do anything wrong from these people?
The purpose of this lawsuit is essentially that they defame me verbally and libel slander, which are the written things that were said. At this point, the courts will have to determine if there's any legitimacy in this complaint and whether or not we've been defamed or I've been harmed or any regards to that nature. This is what I ask people to consider. If you do all the right things in life, and you don't become the chief of police being adversarial, I want to make that very clear, right? But if you do all the right things to be a professional, to learn your craft, to be competent and work your way up through an organization, and then be as effective as we were the 2.5 years as I was the chief of police, I just would propose this to any of the listeners. What would you do if you knew it was all false? What would you do if it was your reputation, your family's name and legacy on the line? And that's not going to go away, but these are individuals that we're suing, and we just have to let the courts determine whether or not my reputation was damaged, hurt, or whether it wasn't.
So right now it's in deposition. It's in the stage where there are depositions happening.
Yes, sir. We're in the stages of depositions. We've already deposed a few people. We've got several more that's got to be done within the administration, and certainly all the parties that were named inside the suit.
Okay, so there's plenty more depositions to go.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
So how long do you think this lawsuit? I mean, is this lawsuit going to be a few years in process?
Well, civil litigation can go 4, 5, 6, 7 years sometimes. I think our attorneys would like to maybe try to be at trial by the end of this year, and that's kind of hoping for a lot, because once you start doing depositions, there's a lot of transcripts. The attorneys from all sides have to go through them and determine, where they go forward. Do they settle? Do they fight it? How much are they going to fight? I mean, there's just a lot that goes into trying to make decisions, and a lot of that usually comes after the deposition process.
What would happen if you are elected sheriff? Would you continue? Because obviously you still want to pursue clearing your name.
Right.
So you become sheriff. Would you still keep on with the lawsuit?
That's an excellent question. I don't know what I would do. That's a hypothetical, right? We know that fighting the incumbent and trying to win a seat as a challenger is hard to do.
Right.
We do know that. But at the end of the day, this is about wrongdoing. This is, in my opinion, it's about intentional wrongdoing and things that were said and done and allegations that were lobbed at me and my reputation and certainly my leadership leadership ability that hinders me for the rest of my natural or physical work life, the working age that I can physically get out there and work. And I do think that we still got a lot more working years left. But we'll just work through the process. And, I don't want to get too far down in the weeds with it, but the courts are doing what they're supposed to do, and I have the utmost faith and confidence that, we will prevail in this litigation.
Is this something that at trial, you said that you'd hope to be at trial by the end of the year? You look forward to being under oath and talking about this?
I absolutely do. And let me say this, and for the listeners out there that know how to investigate, know how to look through and discern information, only innocent men, Uncle Henry, fight to clear their name. And I think that's the best way to leave it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. You're listening to Paul Prine here on the Uncle Henry Show. Just a moment ago, you talked about your record as police chief.
Yes, sir.
And I could tell that you're very proud of it. Tell us why you should be so proud of your time as police chief.
Yes, sir. When I was appointed as the chief of police for Mobile, I was essentially asked to do two things by the former mayor, and that was to reduce crime and reduce attrition. Attrition is the matriculating workforce in and out over a 12-month period, right? We lost 101 officers in 2021 when I came in October of that year, and that was a record number of attrition. We had a lot of internal problems at the police department. We turned that around in 2 years. We reduced attrition 48%. We were able to put together a solid strategic plan. We reduced homicides 65%, sexual assaults 40-something%, double digits across the board with violent crime. And in 2023, we had our best single year crime reduction at 17.5% with all crimes combined together, and that was the best single year we've had since 1988 in the city of Mobile.
And yet, people have a perception that we are surrounded by crime.
Yes, sir.
Is the perception incorrect?
I think the perception is flawed. I do think it's correct, and I think social media drives that. If you compare comparable cities like Montgomery, maybe even Birmingham or Jackson, Mississippi, especially when it comes to looking at the demographics, our crime rate literally is half of those cities and what they look like. There's two parts to looking at crime. It's the crime data, and so we've talked about that. And what you brought up is essentially the second part, and it's the perception of crime.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the perception of crime that we cannot always control will sometimes make it seem worse than what it really is. But I also say the largest stakeholders is certainly broadcast media, and I think they play a role with it. It's one thing to report the news. It's another to saturate the market day in and day out with the same violent crimes over and over, because, people only know what they see, and they trust the media to bring us a lot of times the truth without over inundating us with all this negativity. And I'll simply say this: that was one of the reasons I walked out the first 48. Now, nobody got beat up more than I did when I walked out the first 48, because everybody loved the investigators and they're great people. But the problem is, in my opinion, we were showcasing, Uncle Henry, the most egregious crime in our community, that this is what Mobile, Alabama has to offer, is that we're on this show. And so I started trying to do a few things to kind of bend it up a little bit.
All right, we are up on a break. We'll be back with our final moments with Paul Prine after the break. Uncle Henry Show.
Watch for a crash with road blockage, Pensacola Boulevard at Kenmore Road. Also a crash with injury and road blockage, Highway 98 at Highway 331, Santa Rosa Beach. We're also slowing down on Highway 59 from I-10 to Gulf Shores, a 47-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
It's Car Care Month, and Summit Racing has what you need for bumper-to-bumper care. Revive the interior, exterior, underhood, and more. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 3rd, 2026.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hey, Uncle Henry here, and if it's your
dream to own a boat. Do what so many Mobile County people do. Go see my friends at Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union. They finance new and pre-owned boats with up to 100% financing. Terms up to 5 years for lower payments, no application fee, and fast local answers. You can apply now at GulfCoastFCU.org. Call 251-438-7464 or stop by a branch. Loans subject to approval. That's Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union.
Senator Katie Britt knows Alabama deserves an America First fighter in Washington to help President Trump. That's why she's endorsed Rhett Marcus for Congress.
He is the America First warrior that President Trump and that I need to get the job done.
Rhett Marcus has been fighting for Alabama families. When paychecks were shrinking, Rhett fought back, slashing grocery taxes, killing the diaper tax, and standing up to protect every unborn child. Rhett Marcus, Trump tough, Alabama first, taking dead aim at the rising prices, crushing Alabama families, and delivering results. That's why Senator Katie Britt said,
We need someone that is willing to fight and willing to actually get things done, and that's Rhett.
Paid for by Alabama Christian Conservatives and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AlabamaChristians.com. Alabama Christian Conservatives are responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big three carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55-plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service. With 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50-plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call. Ask about the 55-plus plan you've earned. See how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Go get your family and get a brand new camper right now from Johnny's RV. Hey, from Shelby Mitchell. You know they're locally owned and they're the home of the sweet deal. So many folks are saving right now at Johnny's RV because of real pricing and real people you can trust. They've got over 150 units in stock, so you're going to find the perfect fit for your spring adventures. They just posted a gorgeous open-range RV travel trailer and a spacious Forest River Wildwood Heritage Glen fifth wheel. And that's just a taste of what you're going to find. Johnny's RV, Highway 90 in Theodore, home of the sweet deal.
Hey, this is Anna from Mobile Bay Coins. We're buying paper money, sterling silver flatware, collectible coins, bullion, gold scrap, jewelry, and more. Are you looking to sell your gold and silver? If so, stop by the shop, 2204 Government Street. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or give us a call at 251-725-1590.
That's Mobile Bay Coins and Fine Jewelry. You can find them on Facebook, on Instagram, and their website is mobilebaycoins.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to newsradio710.com/rules.
Skies will be mostly clear tonight with cool temperatures. We'll have overnight lows around 50 degrees with light winds. Tomorrow we'll have plenty of sunshine on your Tuesday with daytime highs in the low to mid 80s. We'll have a light northeasterly breeze and low humidity in the afternoon. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith for this iHeartRadio station.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Is Donald Trump a religious man? This week on Red Pilled America, we delve into an often overlooked aspect of our president's upbringing that reveals a man deeply connected to his pastor. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710 WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. It's 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Paul Prine is here. He is the former Mobile police chief. He is running for Mobile County Sheriff. You can find out more about him online by looking up Paul Prine on Facebook. He's got the Prime Time podcast. How often do you do your podcast?
Well, we started off twice a week, but now I do it once a week, and I try to get it out by Tuesdays of each week. So we should have one coming out tomorrow.
Okay, a new episode tomorrow. Can you tell me what's going to be on the episode? Do you know what's going to be on the episode yet?
Well, I do, and I told you earlier about govsalaries.com, about the enforcement side of the Sheriff's Department and what I thought was frivolous spending as it come to the overtime, and we're going to review a few of those employees over at the jail to determine if it's going on over there as well, and determine whether or not, this is a systemic problem best we can, and how do we fix that problem, and I'll be able to give the solution on there.
Okay, so Prime Time, look for Prime Time on YouTube. Now, you mentioned the jail. Is that an aspect of running for sheriff that you're comfortable with, running the jail?
Yeah. So there's two parts, right? There, whether it's the enforcement side or whether it's the jail, you got the operation side, and then you've got the financial side, the business side of it. The business side, it doesn't matter what business it is, whether it's the Mobile Police Department, Chickasaw Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, or the jail. Money's money. Line item budgets are line item budgets, and staying within the confines of the budget, it's not very complicated at all. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you know how to project what you need for the foregoing year. The operational side is a little bit different from enforcement, but ensuring that we have the right warden and the right best management practices for the jail is not a problem. It certainly isn't a problem in law enforcement, and trying to figure out the best approach is not going to be complicated at all. Yeah.
Have you heard from deputies? Have you heard from sheriff's deputies that support, but they probably don't want to publicly support? Have you heard from some deputies?
Yes, sir, we do. I think those that are monetarily benefiting within the Sheriff's Department are certainly going to be vocal for the incumbent, because, they don't want to lose what they got, and we understand that. We completely get it. But there are probably far greater deputies that are discontent and unhappy with the way things are being done based on my information, and certainly with this new revelation of the income with some of the deputies and some of those that can't get access to that overtime. There's a lot of discontent within the rank and file.
When you are out campaigning and meeting voters, what do they tell you? I mean, do voters even have strong opinions about the Sheriff's Department? Because it doesn't come up. When I'm talking to, I take phone calls. I rarely get calls about the Sheriff's Department. What do people say to you about it?
That is a great question. At the end of the day, more people are probably focused on the national politics and the positions. But let me just remind people, nothing affects us more than our local politics. This is where you give your tax money. This is where your money goes to work for you. A lot of what I hear from the average citizen, not the insiders, not people in law enforcement, the average voter that don't know, a lot of times they can't even tell you who the sheriff is. I've heard some people say, was Jack Tillman still the sheriff? And Jack ain't been there in more than 15, 16 years.
Yes.
And so a lot of people just really simply don't know. And I think those are the voters that we're trying to get to and trying to convey to them why it's important that you engage in the sheriff's race.
So if somebody, we've got a couple of minutes left here. If somebody wants to meet you between now and time to vote, and I guess we're 4 weeks out.
Right.
How do they meet you?
Well, listen, I will meet with 100. I will meet with a group of 1. It doesn't matter to me. They can reach out to us on Facebook at Prime for Sheriff. I answer all my social media requests and messages, and I'll be glad to go have lunch. I'll go have coffee. It doesn't matter, because my philosophy is one voter probably has influence on 5 voters. And so even if I meet just one person, really what I'm doing is using it as a force multiplier, because word of mouth still plays a huge role in society, whether it's a business, iHeartRadio, or running a campaign. Word of mouth will either make or break you, and I will make myself available to anybody that would like to meet me.
Okay, so people should just look for you on Facebook, on social media, Paul Prine, the basic Paul Prine?
Yeah, well, it's Prine for Sheriff on Facebook.
Okay.
You can look me up there. And, of course, I have a personal page. You can reach out to me on Paul Prine as well. And we do have a forum coming up this Thursday from, I believe it's from 6 to 8, and it is at the Old Mobile Dolphin Way Methodist Church on Dolphin Street. I think it's 1507
Dolphin Street. Okay.
Yes, sir. And to my understanding, myself, the sheriff, and the lady running on the Democratic ticket, Miss Lafitte, will be there as well.
Okay, so if people want to compare and contrast and also meet you personally, that would be this Thursday night.
Yes, sir. And listen, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to come out here and talk with your listeners. And if you hadn't made a commitment, go to Prime for Sheriff on Facebook, look us up, and hopefully we can earn your support.
Okay, and remember, the Prime Time podcast on YouTube, new episode tomorrow.
Should come out tomorrow evening, about 5 o'clock. And if you're not registered to vote, I think it's important to say May 4th is the last day that you can register to vote, and it doesn't take much at all. Go to the Alabama Secretary of State website, and it takes all of about 3 minutes under the election tab.
All right. Paul Prine, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Henry. We appreciate you.
There is more show coming up after the news break here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Securing America.
A recent House Appropriations Subcommittee hearing examined the potential budget for the U.S. Army in fiscal year 2027. California Republican Ken Calvert spoke about the importance of that funding.
As threats evolve, it's imperative that we prioritize investments that not only contribute to the current readiness, but also provide us with a decisive advantage on any future battlefield.
Army Secretary Dan Driscoll testified about warfare's changing landscape, which is being fueled by rapid technology changes. Driscoll said that in order to meet that challenge, his troops need help.
Our soldiers are ready to innovate and win, but bureaucracy and regulations are still holding them back.
He added that budget flexibility and speed, which can only be provided by Congress, is key.
So we can adapt quickly to threats and transform faster than our adversaries.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
At Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, our board-certified dermatologists are here to help you look and feel your best. From advanced laser treatments to medical-grade skincare products and today's most innovative procedures, we've got you covered. And right now, you can save on great products and procedures, including $40 off Juvo. Plus, save $150 off Cool Sculpting. Call Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center or schedule online at advanceddermclinic.com.
When a group of women discover they've all dated the same prolific con artist, they take matters into their own hands.
I vowed I will be his last target.
He is not going to get away with this.
He's going to get what he deserves.
We always say that. Trust your girlfriends.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the Girlfriends Trust Me Babe and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Looking for a great real estate agent? Someone who can help you sell your home fast and for top dollar? Go to ready.com, REDY.com. Because on Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to sell your home. Yeah, on Ready, agents will pay you for your listing. Thousands of dollars up front just for a chance to sell your home. And it's easy. Just go to ready.com, enter your address, and when you want to sell. In just 48 hours, the best local agents are competing on Ready to be your agent with cash offers up front just to win your business. Hey, your listing is valuable. Don't give it away. Make those agents earn it. Get paid to pick your real estate agent. Go to ready.com or call 888-525-REDY. 888-525-READY.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Hey, you can listen to the Uncle Henry Show anytime you want to as a podcast. You can find it on the iHeartRadio app or at newsradio710.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
News Radio 710 WNTM AM and WMXC HD3. Mobile.